Can you see that? What looks like smoke or steam? That is oil residue coming out of here. There should be no oil residue if I have a sealed system. And the reason you see that oil mist coming out of here, because the vacuum pump is drawing air from a leaky system. But look, if I had a set of analog gauges, they would be at 29.9. But I can read into microns and it's not getting into microns. And that's telling me something. But if you were on analog gauges, you would never know this. But if you had this clue, you would be saying, hey, something's wrong here. So what do? Check this out. So you undo your gauges, because what you're going to do is separate yourself from the system. And you're going to prove that the leak is in the system and not your hoses or connections. Because it's drawing air in, it's mixing it, and the motor is mixing it with the refrigerant oil, and that's refrigerant oil, not refrigerant oil, that is vacuum pump oil coming out of there out of the mist. Okay, so now I'm off here, now I'm down to 90, 89 microns. But now look at, there's no oil mist. It's all gone. If there's no airflow, then there's no way for air to be mixed with the rotary vane of the pump with the vacuum pump oil, and it won't carry through. As long as there's air, a supply of air, whatever air goes in, air has to come out. If there's no air, or next to no air down to the micron level, if there's no airflow going in under a high velocity, there could be no airflow to carry air out. And we just did that right now. We just sealed it off. So now, let's go back to the system. And this is how you can isolate if you had like one bad valve, you do one and then you do the other, and back and forth, and you can tell if you had a leak in a valve too and it's not the system. Or you make a test rig up with valves and sealed off hoses. Okay, so we're back to this. Let's turn off the vacuum pump supply. Okay, now the vacuum pump, we're losing vacuum. So now I'm going to go over and grab the nitrogen, and in the next video you'll see me pressure this up into the nitrogen. Now watch this be one of those hard ones where under pressure it doesn't leak, but under vacuum it leaks. Let's see if it's that one or if it's the easy one to find. They just did an engine or no, they did a radiator on this, so they had to disconnect the lines. So I'm going to bank that nut right there. Let's see, you see those scratches on that nut right there? I'm going to bank they have a leak right there, unless when they took out the condenser and put it back in, they nicked it and they put a little hole in one of the tubes. So let's see what we find.